This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, well, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us for our Thoughtful Thursdays. We have a wonderful guest today, and I want to ask you a question. Are you hiding? Are you hiding behind your computer, especially if you are a business? Are you hiding? Figure out how to fix that and get more visibility. But I want to first off welcome my co-host, Barbara Ellison. She is amazing. She's an amazing maven. And she works with people in so many different areas, but her focus is on seniors, people who are, I'm not going to say getting up on age, but I will say getting up in age. And she helps them with that. So Barbara, take it away. Tell us more and tell us about our guest.
Absolutely. As Carol said, my name is Barbara Ellison. We've been friends for years, but I'm obviously not in my 20s. And so I work with midlife, especially women who have really realized that the life that they are leading is not necessarily the one that they want. And, they've risen up the corporate ladder and, ooh, this isn't fulfilling anymore, or they're empty nesters, and just for whatever reason, in my case, my husband passed away. And I realized that, oh yeah, who was I outside of all the, within all the labels that I had put on myself and I didn't know, and that was scary. And so so now I teach my journey of how to do that, because I'm on a mission to make happiness the norm. Well, one of the things that makes me happy is to talk to fun people and to find out what they do, how we can collaborate, how we can support each other, how we can just be friends. And sometimes you meet those people that that you are instant within 3 minutes. I love this girl. And LuAnn was one of those that we hit it off. LuAnn, in the first 5 minutes, we were kindred spirits. Yes. Kindred spirits. Carol and I, when we first met, we were kindred spirits. So now I know in my heart of hearts that the three of us, you are in the right place and you are hearing 3 kindred spirits, because it's all about leading your best life.
Yes.
Leading your best life. And that, and Carol's opening statement was, are you hiding behind your computer? We stole it from LuAnn because that's her specialty, how to get that visible. And so I am so excited about this conversation, LuAnn. So tell us, like I've given you a nutshell version. So tell us about the things that you're doing and the things that are coming up for you that you're helping people with.
Oh, yeah.
And welcome to the show.
Yes. Thank you so much, Barbara and Carol. Like Barbara said, the first time we met, it was like, oh my goodness. It was like we were friends forever. And Carol was the same way when I met her. We talked on the phone and I just loved it. It was wonderful. Well, I help coaches become more visible. Like a year ago, I would not be here on camera. I would not show my face on camera. I would take classes and I would have the camera off. But about 6-7 months ago, I finally made the decision that if I want to make this coaching business work, I have to be visible. So that's what I decided, that this is where I need to serve other people. Once I got visible and got my own business going, then I could help other people become visible and get past that imposter syndrome, that fear of visibility, the fear of criticism and fear of judgment and all those things that come up in your mind whenever you're going to get on a camera and talk to people. We all have a message. We're meant to talk to people and really share our message with certain people. I believe that there are people out there waiting for your message. And if you are listening to this and you're here and you're somebody speak to you right now, I think that that's your little nudge to start getting visible. Okay. Yeah. I really think that is so important. And I help them become visible by getting rid of the mind clutter that's inside their heads. That little angel on one side and the angel on the other vision of somebody's talking in your ear, like telling you, like, you're not enough. You're not good enough. You don't know enough. that voice comes up from our unconscious. And that's not fault of our own. That's not something that we have total control over, but that's something we can manage. That's something you can learn to adjust to. And I know that you're meant to have this message to the world. And I think that you are supposed to go out there and tell your message to others.
Right, right.
That's great.
One of my favorite things is that if you have thought it, have experienced it, and survived through it, somebody else is somewhere before is going through the same journey, and you can help them. And that's why Carol and I get along so well, because we feel that same way. It's not
Well, and
about
we were in a
us,
group the other day that
Yeah.
we were talking about that and talking about Zoom and what a blessing it is. But also, it's like for the longest time, I mean, it was hard for me to want to do the camera. It wasn't I was afraid to be on camera because I've done TV and such as that in the past through my modeling agency. But it was just the doing, and I came out of a business that it had to be perfection, not perfectly imperfect, as another friend of ours says. But the other day we were on just a phone call, and it felt so weird to have just the audio, that all of a sudden and that's what we had for years. But
Mhm.
and I saw a picture the other day that I think it was the World's Fair in the 40s, that they launched visual TV, visual phone. And it was a lady talking to her grandson. And yet it didn't become popular till the iPhones and the mobile phones. But there's something about the facial readings and such as that. And that's something right now that everybody needs to work on, because we have a whole generation being brought up, especially the infants and toddlers, not seeing facial visual things. And so, everybody's hiding behind masks. And so you really just see eyes. And some people don't know how to smile with their eyes, and they don't know so, this much of your face being covered covers so much of your life. And we don't realize how much. But anyway, I won't take up your time, LuAnn.
That's okay. I really enjoyed that. And I think that our kids and the kids out there are being affected by this, and they don't read your expression, so they don't know how to interact socially.
Right.
A lot of them are in daycare, and so they're in the mask all day long with
They're even with their friends,
yeah,
even with their friends.
they have to have this mask.
Yeah.
So they
I've
can't
known
read their
families
friends.
that way, that do it within their home together, full families of people. And this is just piggybacking on all the children who spend time on the phone and not relating to real people. They're watching TikTok videos and cartoons, and I mean, I grew up on cartoons, but they were Saturday morning. It wasn't an all day,
You only
every
got to
day,
watch
whenever
Saturday
you
morning.
wanted it. But so they're already being stunted in their social growth, but even more so now. It's just like another layer.
Although one day I walked into my granddaughter's, one of my grandkids, the two youngest ones, they were like, getting a little bit louder. And I was like, gee, what are you guys doing? And but there was three of them in there. They were all playing on their phones, but they were all playing the same game. They were all playing together, but on their phone. And it struck me that, they're playing together, but are they playing together? Are they interacting with each other, like physically? Isn't that part of life, is to physically interact? Like when we used to play games, I mean, we were, shoving and just pushing and playing and moving pieces. And we would, don't touch my piece, So it's a different world. It's a different world.
We're going to have to consciously be careful of helping these kids later.
Yeah.
With that, because there's going to be a gap there for them. So I have two very young grandchildren, and that's a concern of mine, that they do not read your face when you
Mhm.
don't have your mask on now,
Yeah.
because they don't. Yeah. Like I try to teach them the sad and not happy faces, and try to get them to actually understand that, and they don't always do it.
I know.
So yeah.
But anyways, but let's talk about what you do, because I think it's fascinating. So have you got
Oh, I
anything
do
cool coming up?
actually. I have a master class coming this Thursday. It's a free master class. And what is, yeah, it's a how to clear mind clutter so that you can be boldly visible and attract your dream clients. And what we'll be doing there is talking a little bit about why we have mind clutter,
Mhm.
and how we can manage it. And then also just being the brain functions that interfere with our thinking and with our showing up visible. So it's going to have a little brain. I love to geek out on the brain a little bit. So I'm trying to hold back from giving you everything. But I will, yeah, I'll keep myself tamed a little bit. But I will be sharing a lot about mind clutter. And the mind clutter includes that, the imposter syndrome and the fear of invisibility and the fear of judgment and all those different things, perfectionism, procrastination, all those things get in your way, don't they?
And that's what Carol and I talk about on Mondays is the uh productivity and getting things done. But if you're afraid of being visible, do you think it's really being afraid of visible or being afraid of being vulnerable?
Mhm. I think that's definitely a factor. Actually, sharing yourself enough and being authentic enough that you attract your people that you're meant to serve. If you don't let your own light shine, how are you going to attract those people to you? I mean, think of it like a lighthouse. You're basically trying to cut through the fog of these people dealing with this problem that's on their mind. And in order to have them attract to you, you have to let out that maybe you went through the same thing so that they know there is hope. There is a way of getting through it, and you have the answers.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what coaches are meant to do, is they're supposed to help people find the answers to their problem by helping them look at what the possibility is in their life and what they can shoot for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
one of the things Carol and I have talked about many times because she works with trauma people and
yeah.
people that have gone through and Carol was the spouse. So Carol, tell us a little bit about, because that it's just fast. I don't know how you did it.
What?
I lost my husband, but Carol had to take care of her husband for how many years?
Over 25. Over
25
25.
years.
He broke his back. Surgery went well, but the aftercare did not. He ended up with a pinched sciatic nerve and on massive doses of drugs, 18 pharmaceuticals. 2 of them were custom compounded because the doses were so high they couldn't provide them another way. And then 2 heart attacks that were caused from the pain from the surgery. And then more drugs. And at this point, I have gotten him off of all the drugs except for 2. And those doses are minute in comparison. I mean, we're talking, he was on custom compounded morphine and codeine at the same time at very high doses. And so, yes, but traumas can come from anything. It can be from a childhood trauma, a death in the family, you know, all kinds of things that happen to children, and even things that we don't realize are traumas can be traumas. And a, a woman that we know, her husband's asked for prayer. They had a wreck years ago. The little boy was the one they were the most concerned about because he had broken bones. Well, unbeknownst to them, she had a massive traumatic brain injury. I mean, her head made a dent in the dashboard. And so, but nobody knew about this back in the 60s. They didn't realize what the ramifications were. And so they're now walking that out. both medically and prayerfully. And so, and this is a family that never tells you things until after they've conquered it. LuAnn's nodding. You know who I'm talking about? Did you get the letter?
Yeah. I did, yeah.
Yay. And so, but I mean, those kind of traumas can do lasting damage, spirit, soul, and body. And y'all know that we don't pull punches here, but spirit, soul, and body has to all be in alignment for you to be truly healthy and truly be motivated, truly be thoughtful. And so that's one of the things that we bring to the table here between the three of us to help you to be whole and healthy. So anyway, like I said, I don't want to take up all of LuAnn's time.
Part of it is building the right habits, don't you think? And supporting your mind, body, and soul. But you just have to get certain habits in order. And one of the things that I've been doing is I have a morning routine that I do it the same way every day, and that helps me get started and have a really great start. And I think that most people do not do it, but I have an evening routine too to help me go to bed and be ready for the next day. And one of the things I do with that is I list everything on a list, what I need to do. And then I pick out 3 of my main important things to move my business forward. And then I put those on a sticky note. And I clear off my desk of everything else I don't need and put that sticky note there on my desk. And I get those 3 things done. And then this is brain chemistry too, is that I celebrate when I get those 3 things done and I get that accomplished. And it's so, it really supports you to go back and do more work if you want to, but otherwise you have that done and you feel really great about what you did. Otherwise you have this big list and you got 3 things checked off and you look at what you didn't get done.
Right.
So I think,
and that's why these types of and not to brag about us, but you know what, this is what everyday people need to hear.
Yes.
I remember the first time that I heard somebody, well, celebrate the things that you do well. Really? It was news to me. And yet if they had not told me that, and now that's one of my big platforms, quit beating yourself up for the things that you're not and celebrate the things that you are.
But that goes back to our childhoods once again.
And that goes back to our childhood.
How many times, there's studies, and I don't remember it, but how many times a child has said yes and no. And, a toddler goes to touch something, it's like, no. And it's not even usually a no, it's no, no, no. And it just enforces that no, which enforces the negative as opposed to the positive. And if you look at the number of no's, think how many yeses we need to give ourselves at this time in our lives to counteract the no's we got as a toddler. Because I know all 3 of us probably got a lot of those no's because we were not little sit in the corner and play by ourselves children. I can tell you that. At all 3 of us.
You're being too loud.
Yeah.
Did you get that too?
Yeah. My mother would go, turn down the volume.
Yeah, that's so true. It's so true. Yeah. And I think that just those little tips that they incorporate in their life can make everybody's life a little better.
Yes.
So I really think that coaching is really an important thing for people to be open to having. All different types of coaching, health coaching, life coaching, business coaching. I think it just can improve your life so much. And I know it's helped me.
Good.
So I really appreciate that. Yeah. And talking about trauma, Carol, like you did, I actually had some trauma too. My brother died when I was 8 and he was 13. He got hit by a car. And it was very traumatic for our family. And that influenced the rest of our family for the rest of our lives, still influences what's going on in my brother's and my sister's life and my mother's. You never really get over the death of a child, I don't think. And I think that my faith, I hope it's okay to talk about my faith, is really important. Okay. My faith is what got me through. And that was my anchor. God was my anchor. And that was the way I got through this very difficult time where everybody was kind of dispersed. Mom was withdrawn. Dad was working all the time. And it was just us 3 kids left. And I think that that's why I was able to minister that to them, already coach them. At 8 years old, I'm coaching my kid, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
I think that's how it got started. So yeah, that trauma does affect your whole family, and it does affect you. It never really goes away, does it? And you try to heal it. I have tried healing it.
Yeah. Well, and there is healing to be had. We have to receive it.
Yes.
But you have to know where to find it. And that's the
Mhm.
thing, because I truly believe, like body, take nutrition in your body. I don't think there's anything that cannot be healed in the body. God made our bodies to heal, but we don't have the right building blocks for it to use. I mean, we had many doctors tell Keith that he would never get off the morphine and codeine ever. And they were going, we can't believe you're walking on the doses that you are, but you'll never get off of it. He's off of it. Okay. So it can be done. It can be done. But you just have to find the right modalities to get to that stage, whether it's nutrition, supplementing with other kinds of nutrition, because the nutrition and the food in the grocery stores is not there anymore. I'm sure you've heard that a bowl of spinach in 1975, in 2000, you had to eat 30 bowls of spinach. That's just 25 years. And now we're another 25 years past that. So there's no telling how poor quality it is. And the coaching and the things that LuAnn brings, the things that Barbara brings, all of this together makes us whole, spirit, soul, and body. And so that's what we're here for, it is to help.
And one of the things too is that don't be afraid to, if you are in coaching or therapy or something, and I'm not knocking therapy, but sometimes I find the people that have come to me from therapy have said, well, how long have you been in therapy? Oh, 5 years. Okay, well, what, so how, you're feeling better now? Well, no, because they're still rehashing the past. Okay, so now tell me what happened succinctly. All right, that's the last time we're going to talk about it. Now, what are we going to do from now going forward? That's why I think it is so important to have different kinds of coaches who get together and talk, because you never know who's listening. And something that Carol says, or something that LuAnn says, or something that I say I just call it lighting the spark. And once there's that one little spark, that's why it's so important for us to get visible. That's why LuAnn does what she does. That's why it's so important to get visible. And that's why Carol and I do what we do. We want to bring on people who are going to help you to get visible, because people need to hear that you've lit a spark.
Well, and that's why we started the Thoughtful Thursdays. We were having a blast with our Motivational Mondays. I mean, we're thoroughly enjoying those, but we knew that there was more out there than just the two of us. And so we did the Thoughtful Thursdays so we could bring to you more people to enlighten your lives, to enrich your lives. Because if you saw last week, Robert was great. And this week we have LuAnn, and we've got some more lined up that are outstanding. And we're very excited to bring.
And they're excited to come on and share their field of expertise, because we all do such different things. And all of the audiences out there all do different things, or they're looking for something different. And don't know how to go about finding it. And then all of a sudden something will spark that somebody else says. Like for me, it was when a friend of mine asked me a question, and it was just a very simple question. It was like, well, Barb, what do you want? And from the depth of my soul, it was, without even thinking, I said, I just want people to be happy. How often have you heard that? That, oh, I just want my son to be happy. Oh, I just want to be happy. Okay, but what does happiness mean? And how do you get it? It has been an absolutely phenomenal journey for me to, number one, I knew I'm happy myself, but how do I teach other people to be happy? Oh, wow, it is fun. It's fun.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I
Well,
could tell the
LuAnn,
joy.
what final thoughts do you have? Because we're getting close to the end of our time. I mean, you've got plenty of time, 5 minutes.
All right.
So take your time, but I want to make sure that we give you plenty of time to finish up. And I also want to
How to
remind everybody,
people find out about your masterclass?
yes,
Oh, okay.
Sorry for
Yes.
interrupting.
that's okay. Like, share, comment, tell us what you want to see in the future, but comment on this, but tell your friends about it on whatever platform, because we're here on Facebook right now, but we're also up on our YouTube channel and other locations. So yeah, okay, go ahead. Now that I've done my little advertisement, go ahead, LuAnn.
Wow, my master class is this Thursday and I'm really excited about it. I've been practicing, I'm getting it all perfect for you guys. So there's a lot of new stuff that I've never shared with anybody on Facebook Lives and stuff. So I really think it's going to be really beneficial and valuable. And I'm also going to be sharing a little bit about a program that's coming up, and then to help you become, get that mind clutter clear, clarify your message so that you have a client attraction message, and also to powerfully and confidently communicate that to others so that you draw the people that you're meant to serve into your heart.
Yeah, cool.
Okay,
Cool.
that's wonderful. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Oh, what time and where and how do they sign up?
Oh, it's this Thursday and it's 11 a.m. Pacific time or 2 p.m. Eastern time. And it's you can find it at maybe we could just link it, but it's hard to forget.
Well, yeah, we can put it in the link.
Yeah, boldlyvisibleU.com/clear-mind-clutter.
Okay, yeah, and we'll put it down in the comments behind of this show and stuff. So yes, it'll be right there where you can click and go and sign up, just easy breezy. So we hope
Yay.
to see all of y'all there. Barbara, did you have anything coming up you wanted to talk about?
No, I'm doing good. I've got a couple of things in the works that I'm working on, but nothing instantly.
Okay.
But you know what? I will share my free personality assessment, and that's a fun thing to do. It just gives you a place to start, and that's where I started, of knowing and just it was revelation. Oh, that's why I do that. Oh, that's why I like that. One of those kinds of things. So,
Barbara, can you link that in there so they can go and take that assessment? Don't you have an assessment they can take?
We can put that in the comment. We can put that in the comments too.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, and I'm hoping that my book gets back from the publisher this week. So that it's been kind of a process due to just stuff. Other people's
technology.
Pardon? Yes, technology and other people's illnesses has kind of slowed the process, but I'm very excited about it coming out, and it will teach you new things that you may not, if you're the general public, you may not know them yet about how to be healthier and make your cells at the cellular level healthier fairly easily. I mean, Barbara and I've been doing this for a while, and it made a difference. So I'm very excited for my book to get published. So that's my thing. And I just can't thank you enough, LuAnn, for coming on our show today and just blessing us with all of your knowledge. And Barbara, thank you for pushing me into doing shows.
I had to push her.
She did.
But she's pushed me into a couple of things too. So, I mean, it's not me doing all the pushing.
It's a mutual deal. So anyway, thank y'all so much. I do appreciate it. And everybody, share this with your friends. Did you say, anybody gonna say anything? So
hey,
bye.
Have a great one. Bye.